whether it be the altcoins, try and learn this. I'm thinking Liz, right? Adam, I sure hope you're talking to Liz and Jimmy. I mean, they got to take a screenshot of this and say, this is exactly what I need to see to be a buyer. And when I see this, this is what gets me to act. And I did that. I saw on this YOTO. You got to step in, identify the market structure, draw your reload zones. In this case, it worked the bid right against that 78.6, and I got an absolute gift of a fill. And where the hell does this damn thing go? It's interesting how they did take it to new highs. I hope that doesn't change this narrative, but I think you could make the argument that, I mean, it would be fascinating if we could somehow, was this 16? Maybe that's what it is. So 16 there, that range there, and then of course broke it out. So they broke it out following the halving, and then of course there was that crazy ass move. So if we just simply do the same logic, let's see if we can come up with some sort of crazy ass upside objective for the corn here. Are you ready? This is probably going to blow your minds. And the simple fact that actually there's so many people that are saying that Bitcoin isn't going to go to astronomical levels, actually to me is affirmation that it is going to go to astronomical levels. If everybody in the public was barking about how they think it was going to go to, absolutely insane levels, then I would say, probably isn't. Oh, you can see we've done this before. History repeating itself. So where the hell is six? I mean, this might just, and the sad thing is this might just be a collapse in the value of the US dollar. I mean, that could very easily be the case. Holy shit. There's your 16 all the way up there. Better part of $1 million a coin. Who's could be excited about that? That'll be what the hell's that guy's name from MicroStrategies? He's been barking about $1 million Bitcoin forever. And if anything, that's perfect because that will definitely buy Liam his house. So my job is just don't get in front of this. Just get your fucking coins on the books and just let this goddamn thing run. And if we've got Mr. Fink as Mr. Cheerleader, that in itself is probably a huge endorsement that yes, indeed, we are going to go to absolutely insane levels. And the worst part about all this is I wouldn't be surprised. I hear lots of people like on the site and in social media say, yeah, if it hits 150,000, I'm cashing out. If it hits 200,000, I'm cashing out. Well, as long as we have that kind of talk, this thing probably goes a hell of a lot higher. As soon as we start to hear people say, don't sell at price. If it doubles, buy more, right? Keep buying, right? It's never going to stop going up. As soon as we hear that kind of conversation, then we're probably near some sort of end. We started to get that a little bit here recently, which is a little disappointing. Which does make sense considering the halving events coming up here, and we probably need to calm down and clean this up a bit. 69,210 is now our new high here, right? So I guess we better adjust this. 69,210. We're still weeks away from even that 1 month prior to the halving event. So I'm definitely not going to be quote unquote calling a top here. I think that's foolhardy. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're pretty darn close to some sort of pivot. 69,210, that doesn't sound like a big fat round number that the 1% will pivot this thing off of. I did find it fascinating. Look at the number that they pivoted this thing off of. 69,000 even, right on the fucking nose. I mean, is that some sort of coincidence? I think this peak, it was some big fat round number, 19,666. I mean, those are big fat round numbers, 666, number of the beast. So 69,000, it wouldn't even be surprising to me that somebody as kind of a joke in the 1% was like, 69, dude, let's top it right at 69. And they even made a bet. Could we top this thing at 69? Now, that wouldn't surprise me at all. So 69,210, that's kind of a weird number. I don't think that that's the top, but who knows. Altcoins, I think that in the short term, they shook out a lot of the public here on this move. So if we go down to these lower time frames, that was a pretty big shakeout there. They got the kids freaked out a bit. Interestingly, and this is a great endorsement of why I use the 13 EMA, All they did was just bring it back down into the 13 EMA, cleaned up against horizontal support and resistance, and then right back up. Oh, what a surprise. So, what a great endorsement of using moving averages to help you sneak back in, or maybe even take profits if you did short. At most, this is potentially a diamond top, but considering we're still weeks away from the halving event and even a week or two away from the 1 month prior to the halving event, I wouldn't be surprised if they take that top out. What I will say is, whether it be the altcoins, I mean, try and learn this, and whenever I see images like this, I'm thinking Liz, right? Adam, I sure hope you're talking to Liz and Jimmy. I mean, they got to take a screenshot of this and say, this is exactly what I need to see to be a buyer. And when I see this, this is what gets me to act. Can they do that? I don't know. What's fascinating is I just showed you in the public broadcast an example of that in the altcoin space. So these funny little Solana coins. And I did that. I saw on this YOTO. And yeah, I mean, you just don't know. I mean, this is the sad part about capitalism. You just don't know what's going to happen. But you got to step in, identify the market structure, draw your reload zones. In this case, it worked the bid right against that 78.6, and I got an absolute gift of a fill. So I don't know. This is what I'm trying to teach you guys. Can you do it? That's up to you. Just going through some of these names, you should look at them and go, well, I can't buy that. I can't buy that. Can't buy that. Can't buy that. So this little guy here, I can't buy that. You can see where the bottom is. You see where I pulled the trigger, selling into the rally. Okay, fine. But I can't touch that now. If anything, what I have to do, if I do really want to get in on this, draw your reload zones, right? Make sure they're drawn correctly, of course. Ask yourself, what question am I trying to answer when I draw this study? That's the easiest way for you to know whether you've done these correct or not. So 61.8 to 78.6 are reload zone, and we'll reverse that, and there you go. So there's 78.6, and ironically enough, it's basically just backing it up against these lows. So if I did want to reload, which I don't really, because I've already done this is my second car, so I think I'm fine. I'm just gonna leave it. But if I did want to buy, then I just throw my bid right back down against the bottom and just let my order work. And I do like using this Solana chain. Like I said, trying to do this off of the DeFi platform and all that, it didn't work well for me. And I missed a lot of profits. I mean, just ask Eddie. Eddie, how many doubles have you banged out? Can you at least tell us? Because I should have been operating on the same scale as Eddie. But because I was trying to do this ledger DeFi crap, it was literally, I wasted a really, really good opportunity. But oh well, it is what it is. So can't buy that guy. Wife, this is a hilarious one because for the longest time, this thing looked like an absolute piece of shit. And I was just like, oh, what am I doing? But anyway, buying against the bottom end of ranges. There it goes, pops. But I got no business even looking at this now. Story's over. This wolf actually does look like it probably is going to bottom here at some point here in the not too distant future. And he says, no idea. Yeah, right. Sure. You know exactly how much money you've made. You just don't want to tell us. And frankly speaking, I don't blame you. But, just give me a ballpark on doubles. Right? Just for the audience, right? So the audience can go, okay, maybe I can be Eddie when I grow up and bang out 30 doubles in a month or something like that. Anyway, so this wolf here did a little bit of nibbling off of the reload zone of this particular range to get things going, then added to the position down here. So my average on this bad boy is basically against these lows. Do you want to join me? Adam, my God, Adam, you've banged out a bazillion doubles. There you go. So Eddie said over 100 doubles. I mean, seriously, folks, the great part about what we do is it works. You just have to follow the rules and you have to get your shit together and you have to put everything in place. So anyway, so this is an interesting one that hasn't run yet, but you can see, when they get ready to run this thing, it's got plenty of room. And if I thought this wife was going to go off the board because frankly speaking, wife changing money. I mean, what the fuck does that mean? But they 10x this fucking thing, 10x all the way up top here. I didn't actually get the 450 trade off. My last sell was the 5x, 2.25. And I was not expecting them to do this. So, go figure.